those of you that don't know me, I'm David Weiss. I'm a flat earther. Right? Brief intro into flat earth. Flat earth is the dumbest thing ever, is what you think, when in fact, the globe is the dumbest thing ever. And I'm going to prove that to you. And here's the thing, that the people that think flat earth is stupid, they have two things in common. One, they think the flat earth is something ridiculous, okay? They think the flat earth is a disc floating in space, okay? Because they went to the Flat Earth Society, they looked up like, oh, all the other planets around. Nonsense, no flat earther believes that. The other thing they have in common is they don't even know the heliocentric model. They have no idea how fast the earth is spinning, how fast it's orbiting, how far the sun is, how they figured it out. They don't know anything. They don't know that we're spinning supposedly at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting 66,600 miles an hour. That's crazy. Chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour. They don't know any of this. Check this out. Watch this hypersonic sled go by. Mach 8.6. Ready? Bam! Did you see it? Watch it again. Okay? And if you hear it, it's like the sound is crazy. Mach 8.6. Ready? Watch it. See if you can see it. And it's gone. Okay?
Wow.
We're orbiting the sun 10 times faster than that. On the outside of a water ball with air around us in a vacuum. Does anyone see a problem? Okay? There's so many problems with that. That's all you should need to know that the globe is a lie. Forget the earth being flat. The globe is a lie. Why the heck are we talking about flat earth? And the answer is because if you are lost in space, spinning out of control, believing that you're an insignificant speck that evolved from pond scum on a godless or distant god speck of dust floating through an infinite universe, you're giving up your God-given free will. You're giving up your power. You are lost in space, spinning out of control. And how can you make a proper decision? Easily. Right? With all the nonsense going on in the world, I think everyone knows what we're talking about. The way they get away with it is because we are lost in space, where people don't know who they are, where they are. They want you to think that you're spinning out of control, lost in an infinite universe, when in fact you are at the center of creation.
Wow.
All of the heavenly luminaries, we'll get into that, are circling above us, just like it says in the Bible. This world is intelligently designed. Do you know what that means? Because before I discovered the earth was intelligently designed, I didn't believe in a creator. Well, now it's not about believing. I know there's a creator. Do I know who the creator is? I think that's everyone's personal journey. But once you see the creation, there's no denying its existence. What is the flat earth? And the answer is, we live in what I call the Antarctic Basin. Do you know that Antarctica is the highest land on Earth? Highest land on Earth. Where does water accumulate? Top of a hill or at the bottom? Accumulates at the bottom. Okay, large bodies of water at rest, anything bigger than a bucket of water, at rest, lay flat, testably, measurably, provably flat. We can test with lasers and mirror flashes, sun flashes. So if you're on a big lake and you go to the edge of the lake, can you fall off? No, you're at the edge of the lake. And what determines the edge of the lake is that the land is consistently higher than the lake. If it was lower, the water would flow away. Right. Antarctica is the shoreline of our world pond. All of the continents are surrounded by water, but all of the water is surrounded by its container. That container is Antarctica. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth, third time I'm saying it, and it contains our water. What's beyond Antarctica in this outer space? I don't know. Maybe there's more continents out there, extra territory. Somebody lived out there. You might want to call them an extraterrestrial from the outer space.
Right.
Okay. Maybe there's rings. Maybe there's more puddles. Maybe we're the only puddle, right? Because a lot of religious books only talk about this one world. You know, maybe it is this one world. We don't know, because no one is allowed to go beyond 60 degrees south. No corporation, nobody. It's the only treaty that lasted the test of time, 1959, and you can't even question it until the year 2041. Well, they'll kick it down the road another 60 years. Okay, so why can't you go out there? One, it's very tough to navigate out there. Compasses don't work, GPS doesn't work, no resources, and it gets dark a lot. What's out there? If you went out there, you'd find out that you don't live on a ball. And the sun is tied to the hour hand, and the sun outruns the moon. It laps the moon once every 28 days. Think of each celestial object on a different wheel. The wheels in the sky keep on turning.
Is the sun circling the Earth?
Yes, it's circling above the flat Earth. You could ask me about sunsets. Okay. We'll get into that. Okay. So every 28 days, it laps the moon. Okay, you see how it's getting a little ahead of the moon, and the phases are changing on the moon. So the sun marks the hours, the moon marks the months, and if I slow it down and I turn on the stars, the constellation, the fixed stars, this is another solid proof of flat Earth. They're going slightly faster than the sun, so slightly that they only lap the sun once a year. So it takes a month for the next constellation to catch up to the sun, and then another month for the next one to catch up. And that's how the sun is in each constellation for about a month throughout the year. And that marks the seasons. This is a compass. This is how a compass really works. The North Pole is the center of the flat Earth. It's at the center of the world pond. It's a magnetic point on Earth. Okay, all compasses point to the North Pole. If you want to go circumnavigate, here I'm going to leave California. My compass is pointing 270 degrees, which is dead west. Dead west is not a straight line like that. Dead west is a circle because I have to keep my compass needle pointing towards the north. So I'm going 270 degrees. I'm all the way around in Indonesia, Africa, and I come all the way back. I think I went in a straight line, but I went in a fucking circle, right? If I go east, billions of people have circumnavigated east and ended up right where they started. Another way I can get over to Japan is I can go north. I'm heading towards the north. And once I pass the North Pole, I'm now heading south, even though I never turned. Okay, that does not prove the Earth is flat because all of those things work on a flat Earth and a globe.
Or a globe, right?
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Turn off the compass just so you can see. I'm in South America in Santiago, and I want to go south over Antarctica. If I go south, I should pop up over in Australia. Or if I go south from Johannesburg, South Africa, I should pop up over in New Zealand.
If the Earth is flat.
If the Earth is a globe, that should happen. Nobody has ever done it. Gravity for one, if you talk to the high priests of scientism like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, and everyone else, gravity is a theory. And it's such a crappy theory. 96% of it is made up with dark matter and dark energy, which has never been seen, never been tested, but they theorize that it's real because gravity doesn't work without it. Well, it doesn't work with it either. So I'm with you. If I had a handful of ping pong balls and marbles and I held them in the air over a pool and I dropped them, they're both going to fall through the air because they're more dense than the air. The ping pong balls are going to sit on top of the water because they're less dense than the water, and the marbles are going to go to the bottom because they're more dense. So the question is, what makes things go down? We live in this free energy system. I don't know if you guys have looked into free energy, but it's a real thing. The sun and the moon are the cathode and anode of the Earth battery. The salt water, not the fresh water, carries the current. Salt water carries electricity. And the land is the salt bridge of the battery. So the land the Earth does not move at all. It has a negative charge to it. That's not a theory. It has a testable negative charge to it. And there's voltage in the air. When you leave the Earth, a meter off the ground, there's 100 volts. 2 meters off the ground, there's 200 volts. And it goes up from there. And we believe that there's a dome over us, which has the positive. This is how a battery works. So that negative charge, it's a incoherent electrical charge, and it attracts things. It's a very weak force, super weak force, just like they say gravity is a weak force, and it attracts things to it. But here's the thing, a tinfoil triangle, when we put an electric charge into it, it goes up. As soon as that electrical charge is more than the Earth's electrical charge, it repels from the Earth. Okay, so it's electromagnetism that establishes the down, and the relative buoyancy and density sort everything else out. So here's an experiment I did first to show you how the sun sets. This is my flat earth counter. This line is the path of the sun, and it's level to the counter, and I'm just bringing the sun across it. This is either mountaintops, something that's above your eye level, could be the cloud deck, whatever it is. I'm showing you that I'm not going below it. Now, on the far end of the counter, I have another camera that's looking up from the counter, from the Earth's point of view, just like when we look up. And so watch this, what this looks like. So here it is from the other side, and it looks like it's going down, but it's really going level. If I showed you this first and said, is this line level or is it sloped down? You'd say slope down. And it gets eclipsed by this thing in the distance. And whether this is clouds or mountain, in the distance, it looks like it's at eye level. Clouds touch the horizon at 30 miles away. Okay? So that's what you think it. Now I'm zoomed in. Now here it is with a real sunset. You would think that the sun's going to set behind this horizon, but it's setting behind this horizon, which is the atmospheric deck of opacity. Okay. Stuff. I mean, if you watch like these guys are supposedly floating on the space station. Why do they have these bulky pants on? Why do they look like they're hanging from waist harnesses? Okay. Why do they always have their shirts buttoned up too high? They get times when they do their silly little flips, they get tangled in their wires. We catch them all the time. This guy's hanging from a waist harness. Right? This is nonsense. And people just buy it up. People just believe it. Right? Here's something. Watch. That ball, he dropped it. It's a helium ball, but it lost some of its helium and it fell. Why did it fall on the space station? There is no gravity. Well, because there is gravity, but it's falling at the same rate. It's utter nonsense. Why do they fade this guy's head in? Why is his head transparent? It's not real. He's on a zero-G plane, and it's all edited nonsense. Here's one where they're not on a zero-G plane. They're in different rooms, in green screen rooms, and the guy holding the microphone mistakes where Chris is, and he sticks the microphone right into his neck. Okay? NASA took this down right after it went up, but we already downloaded it, right? So it's so easy to fake this stuff. It's unreal. When you say we look up and we see these things, our imagination is seeing it. This is what NASA tells us it is. And when we look, this is what we see. Okay? This is with the most powerful zoom lenses. This is what we see. Saturn is the most amazing. To me, Saturn looks like a ball with a ring around it, but it's a light. That ring that's made of ice and dirt and rocks is as bright as the planet. When you look at it through a good magnification, it's lit. It's a friggin' light. What is it? I don't know. Don't believe anything I say. Nothing. Go check it yourself. And when you do, you'll know for sure you don't live on a spinning ball.